Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Magic Bricks Hangout series. Our endeavor is to trigger a buy and bring back consumer confidence in the real estate market. The topic of today's session is real estate still a man's domain? To discuss on the same, we have Manju Yagnik, Vice Chairperson, Nahar Group. Manju Yagnik excels in maintaining her work and personal life balance. She plays a leading role in envisioning and formulating the group's strategies. With her vision and business acumen, which saw the metamorphosis of Nahar Group from a two-player team into a professional organization with more than 100 strong professionals associated with the company. She is also the guiding force behind the group's sustained and profitable growth. Along with Manju, I also welcome Neha Nagpal. She's a senior journalist working with Magic Bricks. She has an experience of over 10 years. She has been associated with and has written about real estate industry for over 7 years and has written about other industries such as franchisee and outdoors. Without any further delay, I would ask Neha to take over the discussion.
Thank you, Pushpa. I welcome Manju Yagnik on the board today. The topic of the session today is real estate still a man's domain. Considering that we are into the women's era now, and it is a women's day, you can say, or it's a week. I would like to take up the discussion today by talking that personally I feel that gone are the days when the real estate sector was considered largely a male-dominated industry. Therefore, a woman, finding a place for a career, or even selling a house, or cracking a deal which is worth crores, was a tough job. Even when look at our individual level, or when we look at in our families, women were only consulted to contribute. When we talk about only functionality of house, and not not in the buying and selling of the property. So to start the session, I think I should ask Manju what's her point of view as her opening remarks.
I agree with you at certain points, but you see, the last 1 decade had really shown a very good change. A decade back, there was quite a lot of hurdles if you are dealing with authorities, or if you are talking to your stakeholders under a women leadership. Would you be able to deliver? Would you be able to be up to their commitments? Those kind of question marks were always there. And even when you are going for a property acquisitions also, you had a lot of difficulties. But I think scenarios changed because of industry has become far transparent. It has quite a lot to offer. Professionals have been more organized, and I think professionals were never always a problem. But I think now the time is changing, and if you see in other corporate groups also in this industry, there are women coming up. Yes, there are very less in numbers, but now there are people.
Right. So, without any further delay, let me just take up the live queries. We are getting a lot of live queries today. When we talk about, real estate, what do you really think, what has been a turning point for the women in the real estate market?
Turning point, if I talk about every woman who is the only person who's taking final decision of buying a house. So it starts from there. So no matter, I mean, the man is the investor of the family, but women is taking a final decision, final call, whether this place is suitable, this has all the amenities which is matching to their lifestyles, and their kids are getting proper education, medical, and all these needs are fulfilled there. And the house spaces end of the day. So all these decisions are taken by women.
Right. There's Minal from Delhi. She has a different little, point of view where she is comparing the other countries with India. She's asking why women in India are not engaged in real estate sector as much as in the other countries.
Sorry, did you ask me?
Yeah, I asked you. She's saying why women in India are not engaged in real estate sector as much as in other countries.
as I told you that this industry was not very transparent and organized for years, so it was always considered as a man's domain. The reason was not only this, that dealing with authorities and acquisitions and other things, but there was quite a lot of bit harsh decisions and emergency decisions, other things which were also associated. And the most important thing is that financial capacities. See, the boy or the male of the house is always given to play with financial capacities, financial capabilities, decision making. But when the women go and deal with certain things, she should have a back of dealing with her own financial capabilities and with the confidence. That was also the reason. But now they are being part of it. I would not say that completely they are, but yes, now they are part of their financial capabilities of a corporate house. So it makes difference.
Right. So when I ask you, Manju, how many, since you are in, dealing with this business for long now, and you see buying and selling every day, how many women buyers you see, coming, whether they are single or they are married, showing their interest in investing in a property? Do you see many of the transactions happening?
See, I'll tell you something. In this, there is a main segment that more younger generation in past one decade is coming forward to buy, and this is always equal decision of a men and women. So even a woman, when she is taking a decision, is mostly acceptable to the whole family, because everyone feels the way she can look into the things. But yes, when I say about the financial, this is again more right now also goes to men than a women. But women alone, a single capability buyers are coming forward. If I say numbers, maybe around still 15 to 20% that individual buyers. Right. But yes, it is always coupled decision of both and the family. It's 50-50.
Okay. Okay. So when we come to, there's a person called Neera. She's from Gurgaon. She's a user on Magic Bricks. She's asking, what are the benefits available for women buyers in India? Can you put some light on that?
There is a lot, because they get some tax rebate also. They have a special privileges. But if women is buying a house, this is always, she does lot more due diligence actually, and it is a most benefit to men also, because he is only can be part of a big investment things, but she has main this thing. But yes, when she has a tax rebate, other things, yeah, it is not too much, but still, right now the initiatives have started, but we see in in future, near future, that probably women will get more advantages when they are the investors and when they are buying the houses.
Right. When you talk about due diligence, when women actually buy a house, they actually do a very good and safe due diligence. What can you just list the points for us, that what kind of things they look forward, which is quite useful for men as well, as you just said it.
See, when a woman buy a house, she does the due diligence. Due diligence means house spaces, whether she can fit in everything in that house, all her needs are being catered, kitchen is sufficient, all her kids are getting proper their own individual spaces, they have all the amenities, where is the school nearby, all relative infrastructures are there, where they are going to play, where they are going to groom, where they are going to grow in that environment, whether they match to the same, they belong to the same class and other people also, where they are going to stay, and where is their entertainment and other things, all the other needs, medicals. She will look into so many perspectives, which sometimes men forget. They always feel that commuting, okay, it won't be a problem, but more than a little club, it's okay. But there's so many things which women see, their perspective is very different.
Right.
I would give you a very little example about it. When women come to our place, sometimes I have observed that the kind of points they raise, sometimes we feel, oh, it's really valid, we should improve our product. And we take more of a women opinion that too, when we want to make our product better, so it's, they have got very, very keen and very intelligent questions sometimes.
Right. So, is it right to say that that woman looks after, probably look into more towards what exactly inside the house and how it is, strategically placed in terms of vastu and in terms of, space in the house, rather than, probably look into the documents, or they also ask for the documents, also the main documents before finalizing or signing the dotted line?
Yes, they do. They definitely check first thing how much will be the EMI, because she's the one who has to run the house actually. So whether she goes for a 10 years plan or 15-year plans or 5 years plan, she only the one who's deciding that how much chunk she can give out of it, the first thing. So this how she involved into the finances. But nowadays generally, they collide husband and wife both income and do it, so she plays a, important role in this. And nowadays banks also, they don't differentiate, they always give equal opportunities of when they are sanctioning loans and everything. So I think there they are equally involved.
Right, right. Okay, fine. When we come to the real estate sector and about the career in about the women who actually willing to make the career in real estate sector, there is a query from Richa Sharma. She's from Chandigarh. She's asking, why do we have very less number of women in the real estate sector in India? She has a query. I don't know whether you would like to take it up or not, but she has
a simple answer. I mean, you are from Chandigarh. I belong to the, same vicinity. So if I can, then you also can. Now see, the practical thing about it, you see, there has to be always a can-do approach. You are from Chandigarh. I was from a village. So always you should be well informed about the product, the line you would like to go, whether it is real estate or NASA. You should be well aware of, well informed about your subject. I'll tell you one very simple thing. Women do a lot at their home front. There's so many things they organize. I think it's definitely not a man cup of tea. When they can do, they can arrange, they can manage so many things, from social to relationship to everything. Apart from that, finances, outside kids, all the liabilities, when they can handle it, all medical, why they cannot handle this smart subject? It is possible, and you can do it. And nowadays there are a lot more, as I told you, industry is becoming very transparent, very organized, and a lot of women are participating. If you see in finance sector, see where women are only leading at most all the places. So even architect, if you see, there are many number of architects, engineers. So I think it is possible, and you should definitely, consider it.
I have a query here from a user. She's asking that I am earning about 50,000 rupees per month, and I would like to invest in a property. Yeah. So she earns 50,000 rupees per month, and she's asking which kind of property and which budget I should first look at. This is my first investment. Her name is Swati.
Yeah. So Swati, the thing is that as per your budget, first of all, you have to define whether you want to go in tier 2 cities, or if you are looking in metro. Metro, it becomes slightly difficult. If you go in outside areas, outskirts, it is possible. Tier 2 cities, there are a lot more options at this point of time. You want to buy a property purely for investments, then definitely go for some under construction, but make sure if the property has bank loans and other things, then you should go for it, because bank do a lot of due diligence on behalf of customers. So tomorrow your investment or your this thing is secured and safe. But if you're looking for metros, then you should see the brand, you should do your due diligence, you should talk to the customers, you should talk to the residents who are already staying there, and the developers deliverable records, and you can really do that. Because of your constant is of 50,000, I think either it will go in outskirts of metros or in tier 2 cities. There are lot many venues have opened in tier 2 cities also, which are very fairly connected with metros.
Right. There's a query from Kratika. She's asking if apart from all these due diligence documents, you're talking about title and that whether it's a safe investment or not. What about the safety for women? Before she invests in a property, what should she look into so that she has bought a place in a safe and a secured place?
See, if you are a single woman, this is rather more important, and even for the family also. See, make sure that this is a place where already lot of people are staying. It's not completely a unknown or new area for women, I would say, and kids also. So you should definitely check the vicinity, how many people are going to stay, what kind of infrastructure. Suppose you have to go to a supermarket and that is 2 kilometers or a kilometer far away, and that roads and everything has got no basic infrastructures also, it would be difficult. So safety and security nowadays, developers themselves are taking initiatives, specifically them who are not doing standalone buildings but township projects, which are more safer for women and children. They have got all the facilities within the compound, as well as their all the 4 sides of the compounds, all the 5 sides of compounds. They have got their securities norms very tightened. Even one vehicle also sometimes cannot pass through without a check. So they should choose such kind of places, rather go in a township scheme than go into a standalone buildings, which is completely segregated from the infrastructures area.
Right. There's a very interesting query from Suparna. You have actually answered one part of it, but the second part you may like to take it up. She's saying, are there women coming up for buying a houses? If yes, do they buy in their own names or the husband keeps the ownership?
This is a very interesting question. Women are buying the houses. The most interesting part of it, that when they have their personal finances, a man or a family always like to buy the house on a woman's name, because they always feel that tomorrow we may have some crisis, some problem, some issues. So the house in women hands is much safer, and the security for child, because then transfer and other rights have got lot of hassles as well. So they always prefer to keep it. I have come across in name of the family. So definitely, I think if you are a single woman, they are going for it. We have a lot of even single women who have got houses. This is a due diligence not in only my project, but in a lot of other projects also. What I discussed with the whole fraternity, they are. And really, if they don't have a joint loan, but always men prefer to keep the house on a lady's name.
Right. So when you talk about, there are a lot of queries coming from single women, what they actually like to buy. I mean, which property type they would like to buy.
They definitely prefer a smart small house, like 1 bedroom hall kitchen or a studio apartment from themselves. They are in starting of their careers, like I can say air hostess, pilots, and some lady working in BPO or on a transfers. So they like such kind of a places, and they want in mostly you can say in townships, where they have all the facilities. They cannot commute for on longer distances. All the needs and other things are quite nearby. Suppose if I talk about education, medical, and supermarkets, entertainment, all these centers and sports, clubbing should be all within itself. So whenever she want to spend her time, she have got all the accesses.
Right. When we talk about your project, Manju, are you offering some kind of different benefits for females or women buyers in your projects?
Apparently, I don't say that I differentiate. Being a woman, I equal opportunity I provide. But taking when a woman is taking decision, she needs lot more confidence and lot more other things. As you spoke security. You spoke about all the relevant infrastructure is there. So we help her out in taking decision on certain parameters. And if she need help of that financials, like with banks and other things, we call them at a client's table itself, so that all her requirements are tackled at one table itself.
Right. There's a query from Shashank. He's asking, do you think realty business is safe for women? What can be the challenges?
How it could be unsafe, I cannot identify that. It's absolutely safe. There is no problems. I'm in this business since last, you can say, more than 27 years, and I think there is nothing, but it's very adventurous, it's very experimental. You are doing a lot. You have to show more capabilities, and you should be more risk taker. But yes, safety wise, there is no problems. All the decisions what you are taking, you have to be completely balanced, and you have to completely aboard. With the help of the board, you should take all the decisions. You should not jump onto decisions, because this is a real serious business, and you bound to do a lot of mistakes.
Right. But when you started your career, did you face any kind of challenges? Do you see any challenges are there to be faced by women in this real estate industry? Since
Yes,
it was a male-dominated industry, quite a couple of decades back, if you look at, it was a largely male-dominated industry. So, do you see a woman faces challenges obtaining a position in this particular industry?
Yes, definitely. I mean, I told you about authorities, land acquisition, specifically land acquisitions. When I try to do some land acquisitions, I'm talking to tenants for redevelopment, or if I'm talking to a property owners, they do a lot of due diligence. Whether their financial capacities will really allow her to, she'll go for it, she will not go for it, she'll be agreed to the terms. And if we are jointly signing some papers, so tomorrow I should not be in trouble. So they're numbers. But I'm really telling you, with the time, everything is changing, and I think I don't see any hurdles at this point of time now.
Okay.
And not only this, I must tell you something. I am part of a lot of developers councils also. So being that part, I have really observed that even all your co-developers and all the authorities, these people are coming forward, and they always promote that their house, their family women, plus you people should really you should grow in this environment. Industry
Right.
is becoming women now.
Right. When we look at rental market versus residential market, where do you see more queries coming in from women in terms of buying a property or renting a property more? If we talk about only Mumbai market.
What has happened, I'll tell you. In past, maybe around, time to time it is changing. It is not, women is doing that and all. But typical, a mentality, what I have observed, any woman who's single, if she wants to buy a house, what they do is at the same place, they rent a house. If they like, they're comfortable for next 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, they go for the similar kind of a property in the same vicinity. But if they're not comfortable, then they move out. So first, their first preference goes to rental, observe, be there, and afterwards they can decide onto the property. That happens.
So you mean that neighborhood is one important thing which is actually quite significant for women when it comes to buying, right? What kind of neighborhood and locality is all about?
No, it's not about neighborhood. It is about that the whole environment and ambience, and she's comfortable, she's able to commute every places, she's getting or fulfilled all her needs. So when she is comfortable in the whole this thing, then she goes for it.
Okay. Do you see any queries coming in for the commercial buying as well from the women's side?
There is less in numbers, but yes, it is there. it is there, and the commercial market was practically not very good for last so many years. Maybe around three years it is really taking this thing. But yes, women are involved in that, definitely.
So if you talk about, if you just have to give us a percentage, what percentage do you think that women are looking into commercial property also? They are interested in.
I have seen that they are part of it. They are part of it, the whole, you can say, deal, or they are, if the space is there, space is taken, they are also equally, partners, you can say.
Okay.
They are equal owners.
Okay. So there's a query from Jaya. She's asking, women have the privilege of tax exemption. How far do you think that this encourages them to buy a house? Do you think that is an encouragement for them to buy a house?
Surely it is. And now how our Prime Minister has opened a lot of venues for women, their own bank, their own, this thing, their security, their safety, the tax rebates and everything, that definitely he is trying to, and even education also. In fact, our Prime Minister is trying to really promote, really want the women should come up in India, as like in other places, other countries.
Right. There are a lot of queries coming in, Manju, but I think we are just running out of the time. I'm just going to take up my last query and your concluding remarks on that. There's a Karthik from Noida is asking, what do you think can be done to improve women's participation in the real estate business? And that can be our conclusion and concluding remarks from you on that.
If it's a family business, do involve women. Don't just involve them to work, but we give them an equal financial capabilities also to deal with the acquisitions and other things. Involve them for some time, and then you see how they can perform. And even people who want to work in this field, they definitely should do their own due diligence. If they are really, the interest is there into the subject, interest is there into this product actually, so it will really benefit them. And I think you should come forward. It's a very interesting line.
Thank you, Manju. I think it was a great session. Whatever queries we have, we probably can take up off the record with you. Thank you for the time.
Sure. Thank you.
Over to you, Pushpa.
Thank you, Neha. I'm really thankful to our guest speaker, Ms. Manju Yagnik, for participating in this Hangout. It was indeed a great session. I would also like to thank all our participants for making this Hangout a great success. Thank you all.